Hello, my dear students, and the rest of the learners. Welcome to part 20 of a 25-part series of tutorials on creating presentations using Microsoft PowerPoint. In this tutorial, we are going to look at how to add the transitions and the timings in a presentation. My name is Mema GM, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. When you add animations to your slides, you have a variety of timing options available to ensure that every piece of information flows smoothly and looks professional. Set up your custom animations or adjust the preset animation schemes you have applied with the options for start times, including delays, triggers, speed or duration, looping or repeating, and automatic rewind. Animation trigger is an animation option that can be set so that the animation plays when a specified item is clicked. You can change the order of an animation or groups of animation sequences by selecting the item in the animation list and dragging it to a new location in the list. The expand or collapse arrows let you see sequences within each item and move them within or outside of the item. The advanced timeline looks almost the same as the timeline you see when you preview animations. The arrow on a selected list item displays a menu with options such as timings and effects. When you preview animations on the slide, a small timeline appears at the bottom of the animation task pane, illustrating the timings for each animation in seconds. Animation allows you to edit relative timings for animations by selecting the item from the animation list and then dragging the timeline marker. A transition is therefore one of a set of transitional display effects that are available in some Microsoft Office applications. Transitions specify how the display changes, such as fading to black as a user moves from one item, such as a slide or web page, to another. So to add the same transition to all slides in a slideshow presentation, you click on Transition menu, and then in the list, click the transition effect that you want. Click Apply to all slides. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to add the same transition to all slides in a slideshow by the title Introduction to Emily Swap. So, like in this presentation, if I click, for example, on slide number 1, and I want to add some transition that will apply to all my slides, I can click on Transitions menu or Transitions, and then under Transitions, I can choose the transition of my choice. For example, let me choose, let me click on this button here for more transitions, and then I can choose, for example, the one for window. Or let me choose the one for Unikaba. So let me click on Unikaba. And then to apply to all my slides, I have to click on Apply to All. That way. So if I view my presentation, if I click on Slideshow, and then I click from beginning, you realize that my slides will be moving in a certain way. Like that. That one has transited. That's what we are calling the transition. You can see. So I've already set a transition to apply in all my slides. that way. Those are animations, but then that's a transition. That's a transition. Those are animations, but that's a transition. Those are animations, but that's a transition. That is animation. You can see that's an animation, but that's a transition. So my dear students and the rest of the learners, kind of know the difference between animation and transition. So what you can see for specific elements in the presentation or in each slide, that's an animation. But the way the slide is leaving the screen, that's called a transition. So let's see. That's animation, that's a transition. Animation, transition. Transition, animation, transition. So that's how you apply a transition to apply on all slides. However, you can add different transitions between slides. How do you do that? You repeat the following process for each slide you want to add a different transition to. On the Slides tab in Normal View, select the slides you want to add transition to. Click on Transition menu and select the transition effect that you want. The following is a demonstration on how to add different transitions between slides in a presentation by the title Introduction to MLSwap. So in this presentation, if, for example, I move to slide number 1, already we have a transition for it. If I click on transitions, you will see there's a transition which is highlighted. And in this case, it is the uncover. So I can decide to have the second transition, this one, or the second slide, having a different transition. So what I just need to do is to click on a transition of my choice. For example, split. I can also move to slide number 3. Let me move to slide number 3. So I can click on slide number 3 and then click on transitions and choose a different transition. Let me click on this button for more. And then I can choose, for example, glitter. Now, if I preview or if I view this show by clicking on the slide show, then from beginning, you can see that you have different transitions. Look at the way the slide will transit. You see? You have seen how it has transited? Let me begin again so that you can see. This is first slide. It has transited. This is second slide. You can see it has transited. And you can see the others have the former or the previous transition that I had set or that I have set for them. Let's see this one. You see? So you can set a transition for each slide. It's not a must that you have the same transition across your presentation, but you can vary your transitions based on your interest and the message that you want to pass to your audience. But remember, don't exaggerate the transitions so they don't interfere with the concentration of the audience. You can also set the timings manually for a slideshow. You repeat the following process for each slide you want to set timings for. On the Slides tab in Normal View, select the slides you want to set the timings for. On the transitions menu and advanced slide, select the on mouse click or specify the duration after which the slide should transit automatically under after checkbox, and then enter the number of seconds you want the slide to appear on the screen. Tip: if you want the next slide to appear either when you click the mouse or automatically after the number of seconds you enter, whichever comes first, select both the on mouse click and the automatically after checkboxes. So the following is a demonstration how to set timings manually for a slideshow in a presentation by the title Introduction to MLSwap. So to set the timings for our transitions, let me click on the first slide. Already, if you click on transitions menu, you can see that we have a transition which is uncover. So to set the timings for it and advance slide, this part here, this one, you can see we have on mouse click and we have after. So if you want the slide to transit after some seconds without clicking, you just uncheck on mouse click and set your timing here. So you adjust this button. But if you want also to include on mouse click, you check the checkbox for on mouse click. If you just want transitions to occur when you click on your mouse, you remove the checkbox or you uncheck after checkbox. In my case, let me apply both, either on mouse click or after 4 seconds. And to do the same for each and every transition. Remember, you can always change the timings for your animations. If the animation task pane is not displayed, click on Animation menu and click on Animation pane. If or in the Animation task pane, click the animation in the animation list that you want to change the timings for. Click the arrow, click timing, and then do one or more of the following. Change start time in relation to other animations on the slide by doing the following. If you want to create a delay between the end of one animation and the start of the next item in the list, click an option in the delay list. Then, in the start list, do one of the following. If you want to start the animation by clicking the slide, click on click. If you want to start the animation at the same time as the previous animation in the list, click with the previous. If you want to start the animation right after the previous animation in the list finishes, click after previous, and then click OK. To set an animation to play when the text or object is clicked, click the triggers button, click on click option, then select an item from the list. To loop an animation, click an option in the repeat list. To automatically rewind an animation after it plays, select the rewind when done playing checkbox. Note, with this option selected, the animated item will return to its original state. For instance, if you apply the fly out effect, the item will fly out, but then it will reappear on the slide in its original location. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to change timings for animations in a presentation by the title Introduction to MLSwap. My dear students and the rest of the learners, as you are aware, our presentation has various animations. So if you want to change the timings for our animations, we just need to do the following. For example, I can click on slide number 1. If you click on the slide, you can see under slide or under animation pane and animations pane, we have several animations. So for me to change the timings for these animations, I need to click on the object that has been animated on the list, then click on this button here, and then I can click on timing. Once I click on timing, I can decide to set the time that I want. So I can click on timing, then decide whether to click or to start on a click with previous or after previous. And then I can set the delay time here. For example, 0.5 seconds. And then the duration that I want my animation to take, I can set it from here, for example, 2 seconds medium. If I wanted to repeat, I can choose the repeat, for example, 3. I can choose rewind when done playing. And the effect, of course, I can do the same. I can decide to set the timing for smooth start, smooth end, bounce end. And I can do the same for animating text. So, my dear students and the rest of the learners, you can set these timings for animations as you want. Once you are done, you click on OK. You can also turn slide timings on or off in a presentation. How do you do that? Now, to set slide or to turn slide timings on or off in a presentation, you need to remember that turning off timings does not delete them, and therefore you can turn them back on at any time without having to recreate them. So how do you do it? On the slideshow menu, you click Set Up Show. Then you do one of the following. To turn timings on and advanced slides, click using timings if present. To turn timings off and advanced slides, click manually. So the following is a demonstration on how to turn timings on or off in a presentation by the title Introduction to MLSWAP. So while in your presentation, like in this presentation, you click on slideshow menu this way, and then you click on this icon here or on this button. So you click on Set Up Slideshow. Now, a slideshow dialog box or Set Up Show dialog box will appear. Check and advance slides. And then you can choose manually by clicking on that radio button for manually, or you click on the radio button for use timings if present. And that's how you do it. And then you click OK. And with that, my dear students and the rest of the learners, we have come to the end of part 20 of the tutorial or of the series of tutorials. You can continue to part 21 of the 25-part series in which we are going to learn on how to create custom shows. Congratulations, therefore, for learning part 20 of 25 on adding transitions and timings in the creating presentation series. You can access the rest of the parts in the series, as well as other computer or ICT videos by clicking or tapping on Emily's ICT YouTube channel below this video. To subscribe to the channel, tap on subscribe button below this video in YouTube if it's not currently reading as subscribed. For any further correspondence, kindly write it to us through the email emilyswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me, and God bless.